I'm Chris Erasmus, come from South Africa and joined the Tens 2023. Been part of the academy over here for 4 years now, coming in and out as a consultant. Doing a lot of work in South Africa, 15s wise, and joining the Wild Dogs was actually an obvious choice because I'm in South Africa, based in South Africa. And what is nice about it is even you work with Southern African players, there's still a lot of different players coming from different nationalities. And being with the academy with Andrea and Derek, really nice to see how the whole Tens tournaments are growing and just getting better and bigger every year. So it's actually excited to see more tournaments coming down here. You're always reaching out to different countries, Europe, obviously South Africa is a tier 1 nation of rugby, and New Zealand and Australia. But I think hopefully this is the beginning of a lot more, especially with the uprise of the World Cup coming, I think 2030 roundabout. So hopefully this can awake the big giant, like they always say. I think for us it's easy in a sense of just by getting a picture. So if you think about the wild dog and you go back to the roots where it comes from and its own habitat, and I mean how it needs to survive out there in the wilderness, and you take that as a picture and you go with it, and you can simulate it and stimulate it for players, being part of that animal and just to understand what it takes for that type of animal to survive. And you can relate to whatever you're doing, like in our rugby game. We need to adapt and sometimes do a lot of stuff under fatigue to survive. That was actually easy for us, using the wild dog as a picture and say, okay, let's relate with the animal. What is special about this animal, wild dog? Very family orientated. I think it's important for any culture or any team environment, especially when you go to team sports. Always on the hunt to survive, always need to be hungry. But if you look at the animal, they also have fun. And I think that's important. Sometimes we can miss it sometimes to say, it's all work, it's all effort, it's all focus. But sometimes down the line, we just forget about it a little bit, You still need to have fun what you do. So, yeah. You need to be open also to adapt as a coach. There's things you can control, and there's things you just putting trust in the players, so they can be who they be, focusing on their strong points, make sure you're getting the best out of them. So to adapting to that, style, it need to be excited. You need to make it for yourself excited as well as a coach, to challenge yourself, but also have that true north of still having the same goal with your players. It's how you sell it as well to your players and to yourself as well, to getting that confidence, to that inner self, to say that gut feeling of, listen, we're going to go with this. I think this is where we're heading. This is what we want to do. A little bit of trust, a little bit of excitement, and putting the challenge back into yourself. So because we don't have too many time with the players, I think you need to keep it excited. You need to let all players be active and be activated, stimulated. Where you traditionally, when you go with a team for 6 months to 8 months, going through a whole league and tournament, it's just easier to break it down week by week because you know how to prep. But shorter weeks like this, players coming in a little bit later. I think the biggest thing for us is more understanding the person than rather worry too much of his ability to play. It will be, you know, important how he plays and catch and pass and his skill level. But I think sitting down, making time, making effort with your players, and you know, just to understand and know them better makes a big difference. Like I said, a lot of players you're getting in for a short while, understanding their strengths, their weaknesses, also sometimes their challenges they go through. One of my questions is always, what are you looking for when you're here as a player? Why are you here? Obviously to play rugby, but sometimes guys just need a second chance. Sometimes guys want to prove something for hopefully getting back into the national teams or make it to a national team. And you know, when you work with them sitting down on one-on-ones and you literally go and clip out videos and show and suddenly that aha moment coming up where it happens spontaneously in the game, that's awesome. That's quite a kick for me as a coach. I think for a lot of coaches that is a big kick to see, you know, what challenge that player have and what you're actually helping them cross the bridge and getting on the other side of the bridge. Yeah, and the faces is always nice, walking when they walk off that field, regardless of winning or losing, and they can just remember and install that moment of, this was my challenge and I overcome it. Yeah, that's always special. I think just by what you said now is, you know, so many different cultures, so many different countries, different personalities. For us, it's actually, we don't want to be set in stone in the beginning. We will rather guide and lead. I always say when players use their creativity, it makes it easy for the coaches when they drive something. So we're always looking for self-drivers in the team. And if they can self-drive some stuff, you know, cultural stuff, leadership stuff, making a decision on social stuff when we have off days, that makes it actually, you know, start reborning some culture, and it makes it easy for us as coaches. So we depend on our different nationalities, bringing a little bit of, we always say how the cake is going to look like, we don't know, but how it's going to taste, we can, you know, that's what we want to try to accomplish. Everybody need to bring a little bit of spice to the party, and as coaches try just to guide it into one direction and forming something. For me, it's a nice platform to really let loose, to really think outside of the box, to be creative. It's a mix, a bit of both worlds. You wanna keep it excited as sevens, and as fast as sevens, and a little bit loose as sevens. But some parts of the game will go back to the 15s where you want to be a little bit more structured sometimes, using your set pieces, because you still have 5 in the scrum, or for instance mauling will always be a big traditional thing, and for South Africans we love that physicality. So for me is certain areas of the field we really want to tell the guys, listen, you need to be outside of your box, have a go at it. And then certain other spaces of the field we will be a little bit more conservative, but we don't want to put players in the box. And I think if coaches, for me, if I can keep it alive for them, then it will overflow to them as well. Players for me is sometimes they sometimes double-minded, hesitating on what they really can be. And if players can walk away here from tournaments like this and be really confident in who they are, not even how they play, but just as a person who they are, that's nice to see.